You won't believe what happened in our neighborhood. It started like any other day, calm, peaceful, birds singing, sun glowing. I'd just gotten home from work, ready for a relaxing weekend. But things took a crazy turn. We live in a gated community with a homeowners association, HOA. I'm okay with rules, but lately, our HOA had gone overboard. They hired these fake security guards who acted like they were the law wearing uniforms, carrying tasers, giving orders like they owned the place. My wife, Rachel, is the most level-headed person you'll meet. She keeps to herself, respects everyone, and avoids drama. What the HOA didn't know: she's a retired Special Forces veteran with over a decade of military service. She's been on missions across the globe, faced danger, saved lives. But in our neighborhood, she's just the woman tending her garden at dusk and nodding to neighbors on her morning runs. That Friday evening, Rachel decided to take our dog, Cooper, for a walk around the block. She threw on a tracksuit, pulled her hair back, and leashed Cooper UPA routine evening stroll. But 10 minutes later, my phone rang. Her voice was calm, but I could sense trouble. "Stay inside," she said. "Some HOA guys are trying to intimidate me. I'm handling it, but stay alert." That was it. She hung up. My pulse spiked. I rushed to the window and saw 3 men in dark blue uniforms surrounding her down the street. One was pointing what looked like a taser. Cooper, our golden retriever, was barking nonstop. Rachel stood tall, unshaken, her eyes sharp and focused like the soldier she once was. The HOA guards had stopped her, claiming Cooper violated community rules because he wasn't the approved breed. Total nonsense. Cooper's the friendliest dog you could meet, but they called him too aggressive and demanded she go home immediately or face consequences. When Rachel calmly asked for a written notice, they got heated. One pulled out a taser and snapped. "Last warning, lady. Here's where it gets intense." What they didn't know was Rachel had already sent a silent signal to her old Special Forces team. Though retired, she stayed close with them, and her smartwatch had a hidden alert system. When things escalated, she tapped it twice, sending a location beacon to her crewmany of whom lived within 30 minutes. As the guard raised his taser, Rachel stepped forward and said, steady but firm, "I suggest you put that away before this gets out of hand." The guy laughed. "What? Gonna call your husband?" Rachel locked eyes with him. "No. I called my team." Right then, black SUVs pulled up from both ends of the street. Doors opened, and 6 people stepped out, casual clothes, but moving with military precision. These weren't ordinary folks. They were elite operatives who'd served in Special Forces. They didn't need to shout. They just stood there, eyes locked on the scene. 2 had already positioned themselves with clear sight lines on the taser guy. The HOA guards froze, rattled. One stammered, Who are these people?" Rachel gave a faint smile. "Let's just say they don't take kindly to threats against their family." The taser guy finally realized he was outmatched. He lowered the device and backed off, but it was too late. One of Rachel's teammates stepped forward, flashing a badge. Turns out, he was still active in military intelligence, with authority these guards couldn't fathom. Within minutes, the local police were called not by us, but by the HOA guys, thinking they could squirm out of trouble. When the cops arrived and got the full story, they were furious with the guards. They took statements and warned the HOA team that impersonating law enforcement was a serious crime. Carrying tasers without licenses, threatening residents, and overstepping their authority was unacceptable. The police also discovered the security team was barely hired through a sketchy firm with no background checks. 2 guards had prior complaints from other communities. The next week, the HOA held an emergency meeting. Most board members had no idea the security team was acting like this. After hearing what happened, they voted unanimously to terminate the firm's contract. New rules were established, and a professional security company properly trained and licensed was hired. As for Rachel, she went back to walking Cooper like nothing happened. But now, neighbors give her a look of respect, maybe even a little awe. She doesn't talk about her military past or boast, but word spreads fast. People know she's not someone to mess with. The best part? Cooper got a neighborhood hero collar from grateful residents who heard the story. He wears it proudly. It's crazy how people judge based on looks. They thought Rachel was just another suburban wife. They had no clue they were dealing with someone who'd stared down danger and walked through it unfazed. The moment they pulled that taser, they lost control. Because when you mess with one soldier, you mess with the whole unit. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another epic tale like this. We share stories where justice prevails, truth matters, and everyday people turn out to be heroes. Drop a comment below if you've ever been underestimated or just want to give a shout out to fearless souls like Rachel. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and remember, sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most powerful.